You guys are muted.
Can we, can you hear
There
it
you go.
now? Okay.
Yep.
Start again, please, Dan.
Like to thank Janet Boyd and the Blueberry group, plus the chamber for sponsoring Rosa Chance at the Coffee Barn Cafe. We had about 75 people, of which 35 or 40 were kids. They had a great time dancing and listening to the music.
Right. Could you hear Eric or Tim? Could you hear Dan? Okay.
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you, because we have the air conditioner on, so I just wanted to check. Jim,
Just to follow up, is there any movement on the Cherry Road Bridge? Carroll?
Jim did bring that to our attention. Can you give us any update?
Yes, I've called multiple times. 2 different companies. No response. Nobody wants to come look at it.
So, yeah, okay, Jim.
I know when first time I brought it up, I spoke to him twice. He has looked at it. He's well familiar with it. And I actually got a couple of other phone numbers that I can pass along here that I haven't spoken to. But I guess it's a solution to tear the bridge down.
I don't want that to be the solution, but I think things are starting to slow down a bit. So maybe some of these people who had too much work may find themselves wanting work soon. Yes, Jim.
I wonder if the solution might be to look for proper Odyssey. Because I believe that most of that the metal can be reworked and let it in again, rather than going to somebody like Bradwell.
Sarah.
I was gonna say Brattleboro sheet metal is what I was gonna suggest, because they do copper work. They'll do like.
How they were, at least when I spoke to them down there, they weren't gonna replace panels, because they were probably constructed.
Are you talking about which, there's 2 of them.
One.
Okay, I'm talking about the guy on Elliott Street. A different company.
Okay, so Travis, are you aware of either that there's 2 companies? One is Bradford Sheet Metal and the other
One
one
is
is,
Brattleboro Roofing and Sheet Metal.
okay.
I will call Brattleboro Sheet Metal, the Elliott Street guy, tomorrow, because I have some work with him anyway, and I'll ask him if he would have any interest. And if he does. Yeah,
Okay.
no, this is,
Okay, and if you have anybody else on that list, could you share it with Travis?
I have a couple phone numbers. I mean, the real solution, you might have to put a message. So they can get some. It's not gonna be a cheap fix, but
Thank you for keeping it on our minds.
Friends of
Yes, thank you very much. Okay, Travis will report back in September, okay? All right? Early September.
Okay.
And that whether it's, you can't get anybody to be
Yeah.
interested or what it is. Any other public comments? Hearing none, highway, first we're gonna go into emergency management and we're gonna review the bids for the enclosed box trailer.
So we got 2 prices. One from Lucky's, they've been at for what they want.
Yes.
One from Lucky's and one from Tri-State Truck and Trailer. Both trailers are available. Get them anytime. One was for $9,850 and one for $8,200. They're both the same thing, one black, one white.
So they're $1,652. Different,
16.
yeah, yeah, so which one are you recommending, Travis?
I would just. Whatever one is cheaper.
It's the black one.
Yeah.
$8,200.
Yep.
Any discussion about this?
I make a motion that we authorize Travis to purchase the 2023 7x16 trailer from Tri-State Truck and Trailer LLC for $8,200.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
I,
All right, continuing. We have the line painting bids, both double yellow and single white lines.
I only had one company bid. The other company I called multiple times and I got no response back. No email back saying we're not on a bid, no. No quote.
Did these guys have
L&D line painting.
L&D, is that on here?
Yep. These people are the price you got here in front of you is the 4-year line guidelines.
Mhm.
They're the same people who used for the last 4 years.
And what is their timeline, do you know?
Yes, they can come mid to late September. They take great care of us. They held the same price as they had 2 years ago.
Oh,
It's great.
so this is the same
This is
per
the same.
per mile, okay.
Yeah.
Or foot, I guess it is.
We were
per
paying
foot.
2 years ago.
That's amazing.
The total amount is 12,794. We have 14,000 budgeted. So,
Any questions about the line painting? I'm excited, we're gonna get the white lines in particular. And updated yellow lines. So hearing no discussion, somebody want to make a motion?
I make a motion that we authorize Travis to hire L&D line painting to complete the painting as outlined in this letter for a grand total of $12,794.76.
Second.
4-year, not 4-year.
Oh,
L&D is the one that I couldn't.
Oh.
Okay, I amend
So-
my motion to say 4-year.
how do you spell that? Warrior, okay. You accept the second? Okay. Anything else? All in favor? Aye. Okay, now we're going to move on to consider additional driveway permit for Carroll Trail access. It appears that this driveway is coming in from the Newfane side, or was it Marlboro? I forgot. Newfane. Somebody want to explain this to us?
Yeah, hi. I don't know if you can see me. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm Keith Nowak. I'm a realtor in the area, and I'm helping Anna Cangiano figure out if she can get a driveway here. I don't know if you printed out what I had shared, the plan for the driveway,
yes.
but essentially she owns a 70-acre lot on the East Dover side of the line, the town line, off of Carroll Trail. And she owns on the other side a 155-acre lot. It's on the Newfane side. The address is Hunter Brook Road. And so, but accessing it from Hunter Brook side is somewhat not feasible. And so she already has a driveway that comes off of Carroll Trail that accesses her lot there, and then also another lot that I'm trying to think of the name. DePonte is the last name of the owner there. So that's how he accesses his property. And so she was wondering if it'd be possible to pull another driveway off of that same existing driveway that would cut in towards and cross the Newfane line and access that 155-acre lot. And if you see what I shared, that was, sort of just a little map showing the driveway. You can see Carroll Trail there, her driveway, and how it would come off of it at a sort of an angle. And I don't know if there's any, restrictions or anything. I know Carroll Trail, I guess, is a class 4 road. It's not but it is town maintained.
It is?
No.
Richard,
Yeah, so no, it's a class 4. I've been maintained it for 21 years. and I've gotten absolutely no help from either one of those owners. So if you're gonna allow more cars on there, I would like to ask that you guys take care of the road.
Oh, okay. So that would be essentially like a road agreement that people would, whoever's accessing it contributes to maintaining that road.
Yeah, I tried to get both Mark and John to do it before he passed away, and neither one wanted to. They said it was my responsibility. And the other thing is, I have to look, but she had the right of way. Her driveway is on her property, and it's a right of way, and I think it was specific to 2 houses. So, but that's nothing for the select board. That's not my pick up with our.
I don't think we're in a position tonight to start upgrading and taking care of Carroll Trail. That is not, I mean, I hear what Richard's saying because and this is beyond your place, correct?
No, it's the left hand, looks like they put that land restricted
Okay,
just above the stone wall.
and do they live there?
Mark lives here year round, he lives in Newfane, and he's got the cabin they built on television. that,
Okay.
I think Sarah had it for the DRB thing. And I have no problem with it, I mean, I would support it, as long as, you know, the town would take over, at least the meetings up to that point. Instead,
So if
money and put some gravel on the road. Help.
And plowing. Did you hear what Richard just said?
I've only got part of it. Hearing him, he's not.
And you can speak up a little louder.
Well, I mean, it's not up to me, but I would support it if, you know, if the town would take over that portion of the road, for the Carroll Trail, not take over, you guys own it, but maintain it. And that would even give Travis a really nice spot to turn around.
This was not warned as such on this, so there's no way that we're gonna be doing that tonight.
No, I understand.
But there are other solutions potentially.
So they also own a piece, strip, a 20-foot strip that comes out onto the road that they could also use for access.
Joe?
Yes, I see that. So as a concerned citizen, you do not want to see this happen unless you can. Obviously, you being the one that lives down there, unless you can get some sort of agreement with individuals to help you maintain the road.
Yeah.
So with that said, you know, I sitting here on the select board would like to see something like that happen. And then like Vicky says, we can't talk about doing anything with the road because that's not one thing, so. I'm fine with not doing any more with this situation until we have more information or, you know, he comes up with a better thing. It does not make sense at this point. That we have a concerned citizen sitting in the room, not wanting it, so I'm not gonna go.
Well, I mean, if Richard has been maintaining it to a passable level, and the other neighbors are not helping in that situation, it does seem that it should be, you know, a community thing, and that the neighborhood should take care of it if they want to access the road. It shouldn't be your responsibility solely.
But I really would like the town to consider that. And, you know, now you're gonna have, and my parents do help with the road, obviously. But you have three houses in Dover on that road. You've got the aunties, ourselves, and my parents. And you've got Mark and Kathy that live there full time down that road. And then you have the cabin, with John, John's heirs. And then you have this gentleman, and you know, who knows when that 90 acres gets broken up or 70 acres, you know, so eventually there's gonna be more and more traffic on them.
So we would also want to know, before we would even consider it, the cost of bringing it up to,
Our standards.
I know, but this is our trail, so it's not like taking over roads that are in private developments. So I have no idea, I mean, we obviously don't have anything budgeted for this, so we have a lot of questions about it, so
But the culverts were brought up to town specs when they did it, and they did put you know, there is a layer of, road fabric underneath and it just, needs gravel because you know, we graded a couple times a year with a grader, but it was, gravel is an expensive part. And then just plowing. You know, the truck that plows their road doesn't even touch, our road. It'll drive through 3 feet of snow. Plow down there. One time, one of the neighbors, friends got stuck in the middle of the road and the plow truck couldn't even help them get out, so.
So Travis, we go look at Carroll Trail and put together hold on.
Right,
But
please.
I mean, we should at least know the condition that it's in. I don't go there all the time, so you familiarize yourself with the neighborhood. Okay, Joe.
So I totally agree with you, Vicky, on that, but moving forward, I think the concerned parties involved would need to get together. You know, to do whatever way we do it and see if there's the possibility of doing something. You know, all the concerned parties, including the new person that wants to put in a driveway. I think your concern is valid, but we need to get all parties involved to see what. This is a thing everybody needs. Thank you.
Travis.
Also, to my understanding, that if there's, you have to drive or something that has more than 3 residents or 2, I can't remember what it is, but you might have to rename it or classify it as a lane. Then it will need a name and a sign and like,
Okay.
there's more than.
Yeah,
just-
More.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So I never got a driveway access. Because the select board at the time said you can't do it, there's no access permit. Or a on a town trail. But I had to get permission to upgrade the trail. Because at that time it was just logging road. So again, I don't know where that all stands.
So we have a lot of questions. Okay. So does the board want to approve this driveway permit tonight?
Nope.
No. So
We need to make a motion in July, or do we need to even bring it to the?
we can do either way. We can just pass over it because we have too many other concerns around it, or we can make a motion to
Table it, because it's gonna come back.
I don't know that the driveway permit is gonna come back until the road condition is addressed. So do we want to vote it down tonight and then it is gone for a while until the road condition is addressed?
I think that's the appropriate.
Okay. All right,
So make a motion to approve the highway access permit for Stonewall VT LLC. From the property known as 3200 Brook Road.
second,
Second.
any other discussion?
We also,
You said approve?
yes, because you
Yeah.
can't make a motion in the negative, you have to make it as a positive,
positive.
and then you vote, then
Okay.
everyone votes no.
Okay, so there's a motion to approve this driveway permit. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? All opposed? Aye. Unanimously opposed. Sorry,
No, I appreciate all the information. Just for my own edification, at this point, I'll reach out to Rich and discuss with him if a road agreement with Rich were able to work, would that be a path forward? Or does it require the town to do something with the road different to reclassify it or something? I'm trying to understand what the path forward is from here.
Joe.
You brought up connecting 2 driveways together, there's something that has to be done, correct, Travis?
I believe so.
Okay, so we need to look into a couple of things. When you connect 2 driveways to 2 homes. There's different things that need to be done.
I believe that has more to do with the 911 purposes.
Right.
Than my end of things.
Mhm.
Right.
So, you can, I think, I would encourage you to talk to Richard about this.
I have Rich's number. I'll reach out to him and discuss that. Obviously, I know he lives there. But yeah, that was the sort of the part of this was to figure out getting that 911, making sure there can be an address there that can access that, so that if someone were to develop on that side, this would be the known access.
Okay,
But all right, well, thank you everyone for your time. I appreciate it.
thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay. All right, now we're on to the assessor. We're gonna review the contract with NEMC. Linda,
Before we start this, I missed public comments. I need to request a executive session.
so you'll be third in line. There's two others tonight. And what is the reason for the executive session?
First now.
Okay. All right. The contract, Linda sent it to everybody. Did everybody have a chance to look at it? Did anybody have any other questions about it?
I've mentioned it to Linda, the issue of, they're gonna be providing photographs of all the properties,
Mhm.
front and back, but we don't, what's the protocol when somebody refuses them access to the property? That's not on them, right? I mean, we can't put them in harm's way of trying to go on people's property who don't want them.
Linda?
So my understanding, and I deal with it now, is if I'm denied access, then either there's no photos or what is currently on file is what we got. And it will happen. I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
I questioned several things about our responsibilities in terms of finding them secure office space, offering them to internet, high-speed internet situation, then taking the records off-site. Linda answered all my questions about that. She's considering where this could be set up here. The assessor's office is also going to be responsible for setting all appointments, which is quite a time-consuming thing. So we will need to make sure that we budget for that. And then,
It's our responsibility to make the appointments for inspections.
yes, it says so in the contract. And then Linda, the question of a non-operating business still confuses me. And how we're gonna evaluate it using the revenue model. 'Cause
So I was reluctant to send you the novel that I did. I guess my suggestion would be that we don't put too much into it. Because one, we don't know what will happen from now until when this actually gets started. And the other piece that I mentioned was the current condition of the property. So it may be that is not valued on an income approach. I did reach out to Bill with some questions. He has not gotten back to me as yet on those pieces. I really hope that would not hold us up from moving forward with this. I think it's a
clarification we're just gonna want as we get going.
Right.
But we do have a couple of those properties.
We could request an addendum.
Or even
Even just a
methodology, like just how they're gonna deal with a couple of these properties. Any other questions about signing the contract or the contract, Richard?
I'm sorry, I don't. But. What if we're gonna start valuing this property on the income?
Partially, that is the model that they're gonna use. And if you don't, you're not gonna be required to provide income.
Well, several years ago, we voted out equipment,
Mhm.
but then it was just based on real property. And it seems like based on something on the amount of income is
it's almost impossible to do, or even based on month's income on 12 months. And has the business community weighed in on that? Has that been put out there? Because
Actually, Cliff Duncan did weigh in on it. He doesn't.
Oh, yes.
He is definitely weighed in on it. Well, I know Linda wants to say something, but I too have concerns about the income approach, but it's just one facet of it, if I'm correct. Am I right, Linda? Yes.
So just real quick, 3 approaches to value: income, cost, and sales. Typically, we go on a sales approach. For commercial property, it does not necessarily mean that income will be what is used. And primarily, it's what kind of, it's not the income like you have however many gas pumps, how much money are you making? It's about, it is about the building. If you were to rent that space or the space behind it, the garage, what would you take in income for rent? It's about what can that building produce if you were to rent it. It's like an apartment building. If you have 10 apartments and only 5 are rented, what is there's a formula that's used to count for those apartments that are not currently rented. So it's not, I make this much money. It's like with Cliff, he claims income, but it's not, it's used in a different way. It's also not public knowledge. So any information that is provided is kept under lock. Like, looks is not an open file for anybody to look at. It's kept locked up. So, and there will be more going forward about how this is going to work. It's looked at. It doesn't necessarily mean that's the end all as far as how that will be used, but it does get looked at.
I just think that we focus on it, have economic development, send an email out to all businesses in town. Let them know that this is being considered. We probably have more business than we have residences. You know, half your rent is being rented at different times of the year. You have a lot of businesses, and you know that sounds. I just
Well, and that's a fair thing, the Airbnb world of how we do short-term rentals on houses, because that's a business too. So Rich is probably right, now including the short-term rentals that aren't the lodges and.
or even long-term.
Yeah.
Flying the room.
Well, but we are not the first town to go through this, and so but I agree that the business community is going to be, again, it's not there, we cannot require them to provide that information.
But it, you know, it makes sense to provide it, but it would be really good to have a meeting about it, to just talk, not you guys, not select board, but you know, the assessors and people that you're hiring, and I think it's worthwhile that people know that.
Linda?
I want to caution people to not jump the gun, and I think your points are very valid. I'm here tonight to get a contract signed, but I just want to say, don't get alarmed and everybody run out of here saying they're going to ask for your income. It's a confusing issue. People look at it and in the wrong way. So if there are questions, I would encourage people to call my office. And there will be meetings going forward when this all gets underway. We're not looking for values to come out until 26. So that's where we're at.
And we've actually been bumped down because we took some time and went out and added some clarification. So we were going to be a year before.
All right.
And this company just did Ludlow and has done many other ski towns too.
But I'm saying don't wait until 26.
No.
I think we need to get that out there because if people understand it, then we aren't gonna have. And, you know, I just remember, you know, when the government come here to help and the
Yeah.
serious birds.
Can I? just-
Yes, Linda.
So this project, once it's underway, will be starting probably by the end of this year into next year. So trust me, we're not waiting till 26. It'll be underway sooner than we know.
Other comments from anybody? Okay, so is the board prepared to sign this contract tonight? Linda?
I have a question for you, Vicky. Are you with, and Sarah, the questions, are you both okay with the responses that you got?
Yeah, I just, you're gonna need to do some planning
Oh, yeah.
and, I was concerned about. They are gonna leave copies of all the documents when they leave and when they remove them and. It's what it said in here.
That was one of the clarification questions I asked about. My understanding was that they needed a copy of every property record card, which would not be removing the files themselves.
Okay, because
But
I read it.
I will get
So they're gonna take the copy,
a copy of each property
right,
record.
they're gonna take the copy, they're not gonna take the
They're not
original
taking
file.
numbers.
Correct. That's my understanding, but I will
Get clarification.
get that clarification
Thank you.
and
All right.
Make a motion.
So, I'm not sure that, I don't see a signature page for anybody but William, the president.
send a copy to that, or I have a copy that I wrote. But not to say.
Sarah, show help me here.
I have one if you want it. That has 5 lines.
I don't have that one in front of me.
Here's what's on them.
Yeah, this one's thinner than the one I printed out. But there, and
Yeah, mine has page 12. It's above that. I have it on page 12.
moved over by it.
Oh, it's just
oh,
missing the
it's-
lines.
Oh, the lines. were on
Here's a more formal
the-
one.
Okay, we'll just sign this one. It's like it dropped out somehow.
Yeah.
All right,
So make a motion that we approve and sign the contract with New England Municipal Consultants for the townwide reappraisal. I need to say the dollar amount.
sure.
In the amount of $345,000.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you, Linda. Okay, new business, the heating oil bid results and discuss fuel pricing for 22-23. This is gonna be a fun topic.
Could be a short time. We only received one bid.
You're not speaking?
We only received one bid this year. I did speak with another company that usually bids for us. He was unable to do so. We thought perhaps at the end of this month, he might have a better idea. Yes, the market is just too volatile at this point for him to quote anything. So, the one bid that we did receive is almost double what we were paying last year.
So give everybody the numbers so that they can think about it.
Well, from, did I say already? Well, The bid we received was from Coda. Their price for heating oil was $4.49 a gallon. As compared to last year, we paid $2.48 a gallon with NIDO. Their kerosene is at $5.85. It was $3.02 last year. They do not, they could not bid on the diesel, summer or winter diesel, because again, he said he's having a hard time getting numbers from suppliers. So we did not put in a number for that. The propane is at $2.89 per gallon. We paid $1.90 last year. Also, the heating oil price is a capped price, so it could go down.
So that's the highest.
So that's the highest it would be. There is a 50-cent cap fee per gallon.
What does that mean?
Not me. Because I asked him that. That's me.
Rich, do you know what that means? Okay, I just, you buy that kind of thing, so I thought, well, maybe you do, I don't know what that means. Yes,
So what you said was, the way the capped program works is that the price can't go any higher than the number I gave you. But if the market goes down, you get charged the lower price below the number I quoted. So it's 50 cents. Cost for the program is 50 cents a gallon. That still doesn't really clarify, but
So,
does that make sense to anybody?
so what I think it is you can pay. If I remember correctly, when they started doing this after 2008, you can pay a little bit more. With the expressed interest that you're gonna be off some sort of market value. That'll be lower, so you're paying more. For the impression that the price is gonna go down. It doesn't make sense.
I'd like to wait and see if it does settle down. Do you feel comfortable waiting till the first week meeting of September?
I would feel more.
I mean,
Just
I would,
because, the person that we normally have gone with for years and years is not able to bid on this, so that's sort of. next day.
And I would want to know if we change companies to a company that isn't based as close to us. What their service is, what other towns they might supply, so that we have some references. I just think that is, it's kind of dangerous not to know what you're getting into, just going for price. Well, it's the only
Yeah.
price, right?
Yeah, but both of these, again, there was only the two that I had spoken with. Both agreed that it's a very challenging market right now to try to. come up with
Well,
any-
I know the other company hasn't sent out their residential pre-buy
No,
either.
who's gonna, it's waiting
Yeah.
at the end of this month at least.
Okay.
So, and our bid process does say that we can reject any and all bids. But if we want to put it back out to bid with a September, for a September meeting date, perhaps. That makes sense.
Yes, I think we should do that. So maybe things will be less crazy. Yes, Jim?
I can only address the residential pre-buy. And I've seen prices that are in the 240 to 260 range
For oil?
for oil. For AmeriGas.
Okay, so maybe AmeriGas should be added to your list.
Now, I know there's a rough dead date on that pre-buy stuff, so I don't believe we can drag it out to September.
Sarah?
do we have any idea what the differential typically is between commercial or municipal and residential pre-buys?
I think commercial is cheaper. That's all.
Do you know that? Or we just-
Well,
I mean, it's based on
Yeah. What has the school district done, Richard?
Really good question.
Okay. Yes, Jeanette, fine.
They're included in our bid, they paid their.
But
Over and-
words,
Yeah.
so this is for you too.
Oh, that's my ask grade. So this guy, what, thirty?
Lori asked you last year to put them both schools.
Yeah, because we've always done better than the district,
Mhm.
but, yeah. It's, I'll
So,
find out on the.
so let's not do anything, let's put it out for a rebid and try to revisit it in early September. Does that seem fair, everybody? All right. And now our next thing is the consider energy efficiency upgrades. Sarah.
Mr. Parisi will explain to us what Efficiency Vermont has to offer. He, Travis and Chuck and myself visited all the buildings in town. I dropped out after a little while, but and did efficiency. Chuck went over each building and looked at where the greatest kind of savings could be based on usage and the current system. And we put out bids on 3 of the buildings. That was the police department, the town garage, and this building. Wasn't it?
And we walk through the town hall.
We walked through the town hall, but then you went out and got to do the LED conversions. We got those on the 3 buildings, thinking we would choose whichever one was the least expensive and go with the Efficiency Vermont subsidy, but it was not, it was significantly less than what we were gonna have to spend. And then Chuck contacted me recently and said that there was another opportunity. So that's why he's here tonight. And maybe you could come up so we're sure you get you on the mic.
Paperwork's been passed around. Efficiency Vermont contract for the lighting as well as the bids for the 3 buildings. So just to embellish what Sarah said, we met approximately a year ago. We went through all the buildings. I did a very detailed energy analysis by building. There's a spreadsheet that Sarah has that has the cost per square foot to operate each building. That was with fuel prices a year ago. So I could update that and give you today's prices, letting you know which buildings cost what. The impetus behind this was that Dover was selected as a target community by Efficiency Vermont during 2021. Part of the benefit of that program was a $4,000 grant to go toward a given project. That's why we looked through all the buildings, trying to find out the best place to utilize $4,000. Needless to say, there's probably 3 to 5 opportunities in every building between lighting, thermostat controls, building shell improvements, so air sealing and insulating, and in a couple instances, appliances, heating appliances. You can also consider heat pumps. That's what a lot of customers are doing right now to mitigate the oil and gas price increases. They're putting in heat pumps. They absorb some of the heating load until it gets really, really cold out and then your boiler or furnace kicks in. Where we landed was getting bids for LED lighting upgrades, comprehensive LED lighting upgrades to this building, police and highway. These bids would make the buildings entirely LED lighting, which saves energy and maintenance. LEDs have been around for about 14 years now. We are starting to wind down our programs and we'll significantly wind them down at the end of 2023, which means our rebates are going to start to go down to small amounts per fixture. So when the bids came back, they total about $35,000 between these 3 buildings. It was a little bit, it's quite a bit bigger than we anticipated. I went to my management and said, we have $4,000 to work with here, but that doesn't really make a compelling investment scenario for the town of Dover. We have a short window here to help them upgrade their lighting before we start to sunset some of our programs. So I serve as the town of Wilmington's energy coordinator. We have a sort of soft guideline of a 5-year payback on energy investments. So I took that to our managers and tried to get as close to that as we could. Was able to secure 17,500 toward the project, or 50% of the project cost, which is really kind of our terminal limit in terms of how far we go with rebates for projects. It's your business, your buildings, you know, want the project more than you do, but it's fair to say we probably want it as much as you guys do. Projects economics are on the front page. I think it saves about $3,000 a year in energy costs. LEDs, if you have them in your home, you've probably noticed they last quite a long time. They're pretty maintenance free. Bulbs don't burn out, ballasts don't burn out like they do in these type of fixtures. So you should be pretty maintenance free in these 3 buildings with lighting for the next bunch of years. I'll stop there and see if there's any questions.
Questions? Sarah,
So we're looking, you would sort of payback somewhere between 5 and 6 years.
Yeah, 5.5 is where
5.5 is
a
right.
50% incentive gets it to.
Okay, perfect, thank you.
Now, we got one bid that's common these days. Heard it a couple of the fronts, and I hear it all over the place.
Mhm.
If you can get the same project bid again and somebody's more cost competitive, we have honored the rebate level that we've offered. We usually encourage multiple bids, especially with lighting, because it's kind of a commodity. But it's a tough market to get multiple bids. So if you wanted to make the bottom line look better, you could entertain another bid. I don't know if you'd be successful getting another one.
Dan,
What is the average life of the LED bulbs?
So all the fixtures on this list are what are called DLC rated. To be DLC rated, you need to have a 50,000 hour rated life. In a building like this, the lights operate maybe 2,500 hours a year. So you could reasonably expect the lights to last about 20 years. It's not to say one won't fail, but
Yeah. It's worth the saving.
that's the rated life.
Thank you.
so if we felt compelled to go get another bid, I'm not saying that we are, but if we felt compelled to do that, what is the restrictions about? How quickly, I mean, do we have all of through 2023 to get this project done? For the rebate, or how does the rebate?
Yeah, I mean, there's a timestamp on the agreement of 30 days. You have to sign it in 30 days and refresh it. I know municipal doesn't work with the speed of light, like, you know, business does, and very familiar with how limited works. So if you needed to get a second bid, you know, it's likely it wouldn't be apples to apples, the exact same fixtures. So we'd have to kind of like re-examine what's bid upon. If it's the same savings, then it's the same incentive.
I don't know if I feel that we should need a second bid. I mean, you're right, it's crazy out there right now trying to get anybody to bid on anything. So I asked Eric, since this is not in our budget, if he could clarify whether ARPA money could be used for this.
So from my understanding, because we decided to file our standard loss provision with the money that we got, this would be an eligible expense under those ARPA dollars. I am waiting for a final clarification that we would be able to do that. But as far as I'm concerned, I mean, by using that standard loss provision, it opened up that we were allowed to spend that money on anything that a town or municipality would spend that money. They would ask taxpayers to pay for, which is, this is something that would fall under. So from my understanding of everything that I've read so far is that we would be able to use that ARPA money to offset the costs of this upgrade.
I think it's it absolutely is something that the town would spend money on, so.
Another option, because there is not really a time constraint other than checking with your contractor that they'll hold that price. If you don't have it in the budget, I assume you wouldn't. You could incorporate it into your budget, vote on it at town meeting. As long as you sign the agreement, we hold the incentive, we hold it into next year. That way you can do the project starting July 1st next year. Money's held, but it's honored by us. I think the only risk is you may have price escalation.
Right,
on the labor
that-
materials.
That's clearly a risk in this day and age. I think we'd like to get it done. I mean, I think it's an excellent use of some of our ARPA money. It's energy efficiency and
Over the long haul, it's gonna save us money.
well, does somebody want to make a motion to sign this?
I need to see it.
Yes, Joe.
Is it just, I mean, who, did you look, who went out to try to get a bid on this? Was it- And you had
Travis
no luck,
worked
this is back. January.
One guy came, gave me a price on all three, another guy came and I walked through 2 buildings with him. Then he had to leave and I never heard another beat.
So,
Didn't even get it to the half finished quote that he.
so it's also a labor intensive
It is.
quoting process because it takes Travis away to walk through buildings.
Dan, can I-
This would love to see what the cost is of some of those fixtures.
They're laid out on,
It's all in-
Well, I mean, the cost of actually trying to
oh,
see what the. That was a markup, a lot of money, the labor is the larger cost. But we are getting a rebate, like you said.
And you have to speak up, Joe.
We are getting a rebate on a lot of the equipment of some. Dollar amount, $4,000, that was.
yeah, but we basically, the 4,000,
Thank you.
made it 17.5.
So we're getting a 50%, 50 cents on the dollar.
From you guys.
Mhm.
So you guys are all right with just one bid.
I don't love it, but.
I'm asking, I mean, you're happening like we are happening. Yeah.
The reality.
It's
It's
reality
reality, yeah.
of life through every project in Vermont. I mean, we're lucky we get one bidder. let alone
And I do
two or
see
three.
that that is from February.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to him? It's now August. Is he still willing to do the project?
I can reach out to him and find out. I had actually in the meantime, I had adding back to my facility and give me a price on just doing the oldest section of the building. So I have a price on that.
But
You know, if we're gonna do it all together, that's
it makes more sense.
great.
Yeah,
I'm all for this.
Okay, so
it makes. Feel fine because if we're using the ARPA money, using that money. I would hope that the bid is. Is, spec right. I don't like having a full, just the number for the labor, which was broken out for whatever purpose, but that's my only. Thing, but. I think we should stop thinking about it and move forward with it though too, because you already have a lot of time. Sarah had a lot of time into it.
Chuck has a real.
Chuck has a lot of time.
Chuck.
Good
Yeah.
job.
Chuck's
my
Chuck
job.
probably put in more time than anyone.
All right.
Which I'm very grateful.
So what are we voting on how
so-
much money?
I make a motion that we sign the agreement with Efficiency Vermont that will provide us with an incentive of $70,500 towards LED upgrades in the police department, town office, and town garage buildings. Our portion being $17,535. Do we say subject to ARPA money?
We'll figure out how to
Yeah.
pay for it,
Okay.
but I would think that would be a goal to use ARPA.
I
Yeah.
do think it's appropriate.
And Eric has been I asked him to check into it a couple days ago, and I'm sure he's waiting for the answer. You're good? You said, second. Any discussion from anybody? And Randy,
So just a quick question, at the police department, does that include any of our gap? Because we was part of that, we watched the news, but is that part of that, got anything to do with our doors that are like gap, and there's air going out from underneath them, or just strictly all lighting?
This is lighting.
It's just lighting, but I'd be happy to make a comment.
on the gap,
General comment. I
okay,
don't want to interrupt.
Well,
Well-
let's finish the voting on this, because that's a different subject, thank you.
okay. So, any other comments? All in favor?
Uh,
It's one signature.
So authorize
Oh, you-
Vicky as.
Yeah,
Chair. Okay. Should we now move on to that? Then address-
Yeah, although we are really getting off time.
I'll
Yes,
be very.
okay, thank you.
So I did a really in-depth analysis on all these buildings, just like I did in Wellington. I encourage you to read those reports if you like, and I can update them with our fuel prices. One of the recommendations, broadly speaking, is that you start to capital plan around doing thermal shell testing. So it's a blower door test, it's infrared testing. It'll tell you how leaky a building is, where it leaks, what the remedy is, and where it needs more insulation. All of that gets translated in a report to a reduction in LP or oil or whatever by bill, whatever you eat with. It's laborious work, it costs money, but efficiency Vermont's your partner in it. We have money to inject into projects. It's basically putting a better jacket on all your buildings, and in light of the fuel prices we're facing, we all need to be doing that.
Did you have the residential as well?
Yeah,
And then team up with residential?
Yeah. We serve every ratepayer in Vermont. So we do residential, commercial.
We pay for efficiency Vermont.
Yeah, I know. That's great.
That's a good recommendation. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you all.
So Jeanette, you're gonna take, we need a copy of this.
Okay,
Jeanette can. Yeah.
you can.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you. Good night.
Okay, the next thing is to consider the letter from KJK Wireless about a cell tower. Mhm.
My house.
This is to be, they're looking to site US Cellular Tower on Landfill Road. And they want to pay us a lease of 100 years at $9,600 a year, monthly payments of $800. US Cellular will be responsible for all costs related to construction and permitting of the proposed facility, including bringing telephone and electrical service through to the property. The size of the tower, it's approximately 100 feet by 100 feet. Do you know exactly the spot they're looking for? Do you know anything about this, Travis?
First I heard.
Is there anybody here representing them? This is signed by Shannon Gilson. Okay.
I've had some communication with them, but primarily informing them of our cell tower ordinance, and before they can do anything with me, they need to approach the select board with a letter. All of that, so there's some small communication, but nothing to what size or location or.
So I think it's early to try to make any decisions on this. We don't know what the cell tower is gonna look like. We don't know exactly, I mean, I'm thinking you're gonna wanna know where this is gonna be, right? So maybe we could invite Ms. Gilson to a meeting, maybe not next meeting, the 16th is gonna be a jam-packed marathon like tonight is. And maybe they can give us some renderings, and they should probably be in touch with our road commissioner. Because that is at the highway facility. So can we, can you reach out to her, Tabby, or
I'd be
somebody
happy to
else?
reach out to her.
Or do you want to, Jeanette? That's, we want to hear what they're gonna do.
We want the
Thank
cell
you.
tower, we just need to know where it's going.
Okay.
What it's going to look like.
Well, that was one of the quickest things on the agenda only. Unfinished business. We're gonna revisit the memorandum of understanding from the Windham Regional Commission for the Snow Lake Lodge Dam.
I mentioned.
Huh? That's down here. Okay, so, what? I have copies of everything. Snow Lake Lodge, I have it. Here's a good copy of it. So, in the letter that went with this, they have included $1,000 in for Jeanette services in this.
And, yeah, so this went back and forth between Windham Regional and, Vermont Emergency. Environmental management, that's what they are, just to try to fine tune this agreement. Because the state was looking for a little bit more involvement from the regional. And so they agreed to set up the original amount, which was, I think, 3,500 for administrative fees. They bumped it up to 5,000. They can play around with that and take things from different items in the grant. And again, just to, as Alyssa reiterated, this is a grant. It's not any cost to the town for any of this. So keep that in mind.
And now that they're allocating actually some of Jeanette's time administering some of this, it's and paying, prepared to pay for that.
Yes.
Is that enough?
Well, I don't know until I really get into it. So,
But again,
but they're willing, I think,
to adjust.
to adjust as needed. Yes. So I think. And Alyssa and Windham Regional are willing to. Sort of see this through this project. And their assistance, I think, would be valuable.
I agree.
So. I would suggest that we go ahead with this and approve this and. Keep moving forward.
Did we discuss who's gonna sign this? It just says signature.
Well, since I've signed everything, I guess we're just looking for your approval. I could sign it. If that's what you. Yeah. Or.
I don't care. Jeanette has signed everything else that we sent out. So let's keep it consistent.
Yeah. I make the motion that we sign the Snow Lake Dam removal scoping study agreement for project management service by and between the Windham Regional Commission and the town of Dover.
And have Jeanette.
Well, we authorize
Jeanette
Jeanette to sign.
Offer, Jeanette is authorized.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
That's my copy. I think this is Jeanette's that she is going to sign. Okay,
Someone has.
All right. moving along. Unfinished business. So I'm sure everybody saw the letter from Mount Snow Academy on their update, but I'm gonna read it. Dear Dover Town officials, officers and officials, please be advised that Mount Snow Academy has taken down the rental listing with online platforms who we are associated with. We have canceled any future short-term stays for groups outside our direct MSA organization. As of July 22nd, 2022, MSA is officially removed from any online rental platforms. Mount Snow Academy would like to issue an apology to the town of Dover for our error in listing the property for rentals. We apologize for any miscommunication for this matter. Please contact me directly. If the town has any other questions or concern regarding the matter, it is greatly appreciated to be advised if MSA is on the select board agenda for any future discussions. And that's signed by the head of the school, Peter Sigloza. How do you say it? Sigloza. So there we go. All right, we're back. Now we're going to economic development. Today's site visit recap. Eric.
Okay, still working through the minutes, so if I forget anything, anyone who was there, please feel free to chime in and fill in any blanks. We had a very productive meeting out in the property for the Ridge project today. There were 18 people in attendance. That was select board members, Dover employees, SOBTA representatives, USFS representatives. We had Dover Trails and Rec Committee members out there and some interested public as well. We discussed the proposed parking lot area along Handle Road, and then proceeded up the trails that are currently on the property to kind of take a look at the lay of the land and, get an idea of generally where things had been mapped out. It was, general consensus is that, the plan is not finalized, obviously, until we have the designers and the ologists in there, as they said. But that, the United States Forest Service will be working with the town when it came to the parking lot, and then looking to SOVTA to put together that RFP for the trails portion of the project, which the town would follow along closely with because of our potential to be financing portions of this project. So I think what we're waiting for now is an answer from the representatives at USFS to let us know what they're thinking about the parking lot so that we can make a call on that before it's too late this summer. Did I miss anything?
No, and we had some feedback from one of the interested neighbor people who were looking to potentially have a buffer, a 75-foot vegetative buffer between the parking lot and Handle Road. We don't have that at Crosstown Road parking lot.
Oh, sorry, Vicky.
And there's not, Andy responded to her, thanking her for her interest in coming, and she also was concerned we were gonna blacktop the parking lot. So the property that we own, that precludes us putting that kind of buffer there. And we certainly never can, I didn't envision this being a blacktop parking lot. I don't know if other people did. I don't think we ever got down the road. I don't know if the plans that you have. No, so. Okay. All right.
So we will keep everybody posted on any updates that come back from USFS on that project. Okay.
Okay.
And
Sarah.
we had asked USFS to get back to us in time to warn it for the agenda for the September 6th meeting.
Correct.
Yes, about the
Parking lot.
if we can put in some kind of parking lot pad, something, we need to get cars off the road to be able to have the people who need to do the work, just figuring out the trails, the biology, the everything up there. We need to get them off the road at the very minimum.
And I'll be sure to reach out to them prior to that meeting if we haven't heard from them, prior to that meeting, so we have our answer and we can make a decision.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else on the site visit? Okay, moving on. We're going to talk about the technical assistance program.
So this is the program that we had discussed when we were putting budgets together this spring. These are the outlines. It follows very closely to what we have out there for our Do It application, just because it's a very similar program, just for a different use. Same kind of criteria in terms of eligibility and things like that. And it breaks out, what it is that we would be covering with those grant dollars. And it basically explains that both, the Economic Development Department and the Select Board of Dover have the right to, approve or deny these projects based on the criteria.
The maximum grant would be $2,500.
Yep, and that's a 75% match, just the same as Do It with, Do It's a $4,500 max grant, but it's a 75% match, so they would have to put some money in as well to complete these projects.
Did everybody have a chance to look at this? Well, it was emailed. Does somebody want to make a motion to approve the?
I make a motion that we approve the Dover Technical Assistance Program. And authorize Eric to deliver to release applications to the community.
Okay, second. Scott. Any discussion? All in favor?
Uh,
Aye. Thank you, Eric.
Thank
And
you.
now a recommendation, we had Allison Ferris has stepped away from the Trails and Rec Committee, and we asked for letters of interest. I understand we received 4.
Mhm.
And there's a recommendation.
So, yeah, first we'd like to say thank you to everyone who submitted a letter of interest. It's great to see, that people are excited and interested in talking with us about Trails and Rec in Dover. Let's keep that enthusiasm, even if you're not put in the seat. But we would like to make a recommendation to the board to appoint Julia LaGrange to the open Dover resident seat. The reason for us making this recommendation is that number one, Julia had applied the first time around and was not selected for that seat. And also because she's been very actively involved in the committee since then. So we think that there would be very little onboarding or explaining to do to get Julia up to speed with what it is that we talk about or have been working on. So our recommendation is that we appoint Julia LaGrange to that open seat.
And I agree, I also appreciate the quality of the candidates that came forward. It's outstanding to see so much interest and from diverse backgrounds, so. So does somebody want to make a motion to appoint Julia LaGrange?
I make a motion that we appoint Julia LaGrange to fill the open community member seat on the Dover Trails and Rec.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you, Eric.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, now we're gonna go into the Board of Liquor Control if somebody wants to make a motion.
Motion to go into the Board of Liquor Control.
Second by Scott. Okay, these are special event permits for the Wine and Harvest Festival for September. We have a litany of them: St. Johnsbury Distilling, Coldwater Spirits, DBA Mad River Distillers, Vermont Booth LLC, Vermont Mountain Distillery LLC, DBA Stowe Cider, Rutland Brewing Company, DBA Mount Holly Beer, Vermont Vines on the River LLC, DBA Vermont Vines.
Make a motion that we approve.
Hold on.
Okay,
We need to remove the Rutland Brewing Company,
okay,
Mount Holly Beer. They were gonna try to make this work. Because originally Mount Holly Beer, it's.
Yes.
That is for the festival permit application, which was incorrect. So they were gonna try to piggyback onto their, I guess their parent company is Rutland Brewing. But apparently they are not available the date of the water park, so they're gonna have to revisit this. So just remove them for now.
okay.
The others should be all.
So then we have
set.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Bethany was.
She's here.
She's up. She's up.
Yes.
She's up in the right. Yeah. But
Oh,
there we,
Okay,
she wasn't. She came back.
oh, there she is. I'm sorry.
okay.
A formal portrait picture.
So Bethany, we're removing Rutland Brewing Company, Mount Holly Beer for this round. Is that correct?
I would defer to Jeanette on this. It's complicated because Rutland Brewing is actually the ones who produce the Mount Holly beer. I guess Mount Holly just comes up with the creation, and then the Mount Rutland Brewery or Brewing creates it for them. So we're just trying to figure out the best course for them to come and be at the festival. What's their special events permit?
Yeah, this is a special events permit.
No, they never.
Okay,
Oh,
Never got anything, and, I did get an email from Dan, just a little while ago, and he's trying to get a catering permit through a local restaurant. So I told him anything now, so gonna have to figure it out.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
okay, I didn't see that yet. So I would just table them because they're making things more complicated than I think is necessary, but I can loop back with Dan again and talk to them with some more.
any other comments about these 5 for that Wine and Harvest? Hearing none, does somebody want to make a motion to have this is not signed by the board, the town clerk signs these, but we
I make-
approve them.
I make a motion that we authorize the town clerk to sign the special event permits for Vermont Wine and Harvest Festival. For St. Johnsbury Distillery, Cold Spring Spirits, DBA Mad River Distillers, Vermont Vermouth LLC, White Mountain Distillery LLC, DBA Stowe Cider. And Vermont Vines on the River LLC, DBA Vermont Vines.
Second. Anything else? Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
I'll entertain a motion to come out.
of deliberative, or come out of
the Board of
Board of Liquor Authority. Board of Liquor
Second,
Control.
second, second by Scott. All in favor?
Aye.
We have the consent agenda now. We need to approve the minutes of July 14th and July 19th.
Attendance.
Was everybody at?
Jeanette knows everything.
Was the special meeting with the tax rate and that's WTA. Everyone was there. Yes, Scott joined a little later, but everybody else was there.
Last meeting, I can't remember.
What was the last one? The 19th?
Yes,
Yes, everyone.
okay, so we can do one for both.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes of July 14th and July 19th.
Any changes or corrections? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now we're asked to approve the warrants of July 23rd for $1,357,707.
Make a motion that we approve the warrants of July 23rd for $1,357,707. Second.
Any questions? All in favor? Aye. Okay, FYI, we have a letter from SEBCA seeking a board member. I don't want to read this whole thing, but they're looking for somebody who's interested in SEBCA, the community action, which serves Dover. SEBCA's board is looking to expand membership to capture broad spectrum of communities in its coverage. They fight the war on poverty. They're a private nonprofit corporation. So if anybody's interested in finding out more about becoming a board member for SEBCA, Jeanette has this letter that you can look at. So I'm gonna leave it at that. All right, we have concerts in the park coming. Sunday, August 7th, we have Shirley Temple, and then a Wednesday night with the Miles Band on August 10th. And then Jacksonville Blues Band is coming on August 14th, which is Sunday at 2, and Three-Way Street on the August 21st at 2. The Planning Commission meets August 8th, which is Monday night at 6:30. The primary is Tuesday, August 9th. Voting is 7 to 7, or you can still come in and vote early. And the Trails and Rec Committee, this says the 11th, but are you guys meeting on Wednesday, the 10th?
It is Thursday, the 11th.
Thursday, the 11th. Okay. Liaison reports. Hearing none. We are going to go into executive session, first with Randy Johnson for contractual, second with Rich for personnel, and third for Linda for personnel. So the order you want, you're first, then Randy, then Linda.
Because he wants me in the minutes that way. It's not,
Okay,
that's okay.
all
I
right,
mean, we'll spend time with that.
okay. All right, so we will go in, we'll go into personnel with Rich Warner, and Randy Johnson's gonna be there. Okay,
So move to go into executive session at 7:49 PM.
all in favor, second?
Second.
We're coming out of executive session at 8:20 by unanimous consent. Rich will keep us posted on an assistant position.
Mhm.
And Randy will update us at the next meeting, concerning his contractual situation. And, Linda will keep us apprised of her.
We need to apprise Linda as to whether her proposed advertising can go forward.
Yes,
So we need to talk to that other party.
Yeah.
And I'll let her know.
all right, so basically,
Did you get all that, or that's,
on the
that's
tape. It's on the
okay, so I
tape.
don't have to send you minutes?
Although we do have when Rich left and when Randy
Okay,
left.
so I will, so what, can I state that on the record now?
Sure.
Okay, so 7:49 was when executive session started. We started with the fire department, Rich Warner and Randy Johnson were here until for that. Rich Warner left at 8:04. Then we went on to the police department. Randy Johnson left at 8:10. And we went to Linda Sherman, and Linda Sherman left at 8:16. Then we came out of executive session at 8:20. That's how.
Good luck.
Let's start at,
Great, wait, sir.
We're adjourning. I'm adjourning.
Adjourning 8:21.
That was a long meeting.
Sorry I missed you in the woods, Jeanette.
Yeah. I wasn't really-
It's actually.
Well, we